Hello and good morning, friends. Well, it's morning here. It's 5 o'clock in the morning and it is May 25th, 2023. And we are facing the New York Times hard Sudoku of today. Let's get started right away. It wouldn't be the New York Times if we didn't have the 7-9 here and the 7-9 here, giving us a 7 and a 9 for these squares here. That leaves just a 2 and a 6 to be found for these two squares, and they'll have to wait a bit. There's a 5 blocking down here though, and another 5 blocking down, one blocking over. So here's a 5. We now have a 5 in one of these two squares. And we have a 1 here because the 4 here and here block here and here. So a 4 must go up here somewhere. The 8 blocks up here and the 8 blocks across. So an 8 also must go up here somewhere. And this 1 blocks up. So here's a 1. And we now have a 5 and a 9 here. And that automatically makes this a 2. So now we have a 2 here or here, and therefore here, here, or here. But the 5 and a 9 here leaves just a 6 and a 3 to be found for these two squares. Let's see if we can do that. I don't think I can, not immediately though. 3 blocks over here and down here, so here's a 3 in one of these two squares. But let's go back to the 4 and an 8 here. It does give me a 1 for the one of these two squares. And 5 here, here, or here. What about the 9s? 9 blocks over, 9 blocks down. No, not that either. 5 or a 9 here. 3, 5. 1 and a 9 here. I think I'll have to let that rest for a bit while I look at something else. 4 must go down here somewhere because we have 2 4s blocking across. 2, 5, 6, and a 9 across here. Well, 7 and a 9 here. Yes, of course, 2 and a 6 here, the 2 blocks over now. So here's a 6 and here's a 2. We do have a 4 and an 8 here and here. So these have to be 4s and 8s and the 8 blocks down. So here's a 4 and here's the 8. These must be 3, 6, 9 and a what? And a 2. This, I believe, must be a 7 because the 7 blocks here, the 7 blocks here, and we know that one of these is a 7. So we need a 7 for column 6, and that must go here. Now we have a 7, 2 here and a 7, 2 here, and these now have to be 7 and 2. And that leaves a 1, 8, and a 9 for these squares here. 8 blocks down, so an 8 goes here or here. 1 blocks down, so a 1 goes here or here. And this and a 9 must go in one of these two squares. And that, given the 9 blocking down here, gives me a 9 for this square here, and therefore for this square as well. We have 9 blockers down here. Now we have a 9 blocking across. I can't find a 9 yet for block 4 here, so that'll have to wait a little. But now we know that one of these is a 6 because the 6 blocks up. And therefore, since a 6 blocks up here and this 6 blocks up here, we got 2 6s blocking across. A 6 must go up here. Now we got a 1, 3, 4, and an 8 missing in row 2. 8 must go here or here. 4. 4 here or here. No, I'm not seeing that yet. However, I am seeing, since we know that these two must be a 2 and a 7, we got a 1 blocking down. 1 must go in one of these squares blocking over. And we have 2 1s blocking down, so here's a 1. And I do believe that this must be a 9 now, yes, because we got 2 9s blocking across. So here's a 9, and we know that this 9 blocks up, and 9 up here blocks down, and this 9 blocks across, so here is a 9. So back to these squares here. These being 4 and 8 makes these a 3 and a 5. 6 and the 3 here, yes. I remember that. The 7 in, we fill the 7 here, so these are pretty easy to figure out. There must be a 1, 8 and a 6. There's a 6 and a 1 in the row now, so here's an 8. 8 goes in one of these squares up here now, and these must be, as I said, 1 and a 6. So that gives me a 1 and an 8 up here, because we got 1s blocking up and over. We got 8s blocking up and over. So 8 and 1 in these two squares here. 2, 3, and a 6. So we have a 6 in one of these squares here. Let's continue over here. I think 1 and 6, 2s we don't know anything about. 4 up here somewhere, that's for sure. 7. 7 can't go here or here, and 7 can't go here or here because of these two 7s. So naturally, this is a 7. Now we got a 3 in one of these two squares, and that should help because we had a 3, 6 here. We have a 3 here or here because of the 3 here, right? So here is now a 6, and here is a 3. Now we've got a 3 and a 4 down here, and a 1. 1, 3, and a 4, because this 1 blocks over, this 1 blocks down, and we got 3 and 4s here. And we know that these are 2 and 7, and that leaves only one square, and that's got to be an 8. So now the 8 and the 5 and the 8 and the 5 join each other down here. We know that one of these is an 8, therefore this must be the 5 and this must be the 8. 1, 3, 4 here. That means that this is a 6 and this is a 1. 6 blocks up and over, here is a 6. 1, 8 here still leaves me a 2 and a 3 to find. Let's see. No, not yet. But I feel that we are inching closer. We could enter something here, of course, and that must be another 6. Let's see, 6 blocks up and over, here is a 6, and that is the last 6 of the puzzle. Here we are looking for a 2 and a 5 now. And we know that this 5 blocks over, this 5 blocks up, so here's a 5, and therefore this is a 5 and this is a 2. 2 blocks over, here's another 2, and the last digit here has got to be a 3. 3, 2, and a 9 here. We got a 9 blocking over and up, so here's a 9. We got a 3 blocking over, here's a 2, and here's a 3. 4 and 3 now here. 3 blocks over, here's a 4, here's a 3. 3 blocks over and over, here's a 3 blocking up. So here's a 3. We know that a 3 now must go here, and these must be 1 and 4. The 4 blocks down. So here's the 1, and here is the 4. 4 blocks up and over. Another 4 goes here. The last digit in the column must be a 5. And that makes this a 5 and this a 9. This 9 blocks over, so does this. This blocks up. Here's a 9, and therefore this is a 7. Blocking over, here's another 7. That makes this a 7 and this a 2. Now this must be a 2, of course, and so must this. 4, 8 here, 4 blocks over, 8 here, 4 here. 8 blocks over, 8 here and 1 here, and a 1 here. And that's it for today's New York Times Heart Puzzle. Thank you for watching, and bye for now.